This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Thursday, October 17th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. The Indiana Secretary of Education says there's been positive early feedback from a pilot program to help high school students get a jump start on their careers as early childhood educators. 65 students across 7 Indiana school districts are participating in the state's new Early Childhood Education Registered Teacher Apprenticeship Program. The students receive classroom instruction, paid on-the-job training, and the chance to earn credentials while still in high school. Katie Jenner told Inside Indiana Business that it's all part of an effort to make the students' 4 years of high school a valuable resource while also addressing a statewide need.
These are students who want to be early learning teachers, which is absolutely a need in our state for early learning and childcare. They'll earn a wage. And then they will also take college credit courses to earn that credential.
Participants can also choose to continue their education at college and receive dual credit while in high school. BAE Systems has received a 5-year U.S. Army contract of up to $460 million for its Mars airborne communication system for helicopters. The company says the contract for the aviation radio set consists of hardware components, repair services, engineering support, and development for rotary wing aircraft. The radios will be produced at BAE Systems' facility in Fort Wayne with engineering support in Florida. In July, the company announced it had also secured a $111 million contract to provide its radios to South Korea. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
And Jerome Prince, the former mayor of Gary, is pleading guilty to wire fraud in federal court. Prince admitted in court documents last week he used $26,000 in campaign contributions to buy a house in the Miller Beach neighborhood on the northeast side of Gary. The deal between federal prosecutors and Prince calls for no jail time, but asks for 1 year of probation. As part of the deal, Prince would have to pay back the $26,750 he took from his campaign coffers. Prince admitted to illegally taking the money from his campaign in 2019. He won the 2020 election and served as Gary's mayor before losing the re-election bid to State Senator Eddie Milton in 2023. Elevance Health surprised Wall Street with a rare late-year guidance cut Thursday after a jump in Medicaid costs marred its third quarter. Shares of the Blue Cross Blue Shield insurer tumbled after it joined rival United Health in noting that rates it receives for managing government-funded Medicaid programs weren't enough to offset a rise in costs. Elevance dropped its forecast for 2024 adjusted earnings to approximately $33 per share after predicting at least $37.20 in July. United Health also tightened its forecast when it reported third quarter results Tuesday. Insurers typically act conservatively with forecasts this late in the year and focus on signaling to investors how the coming year will play out. With almost 9 million people enrolled, Elevance is one of the country's biggest insurers in Medicaid, which pays for health care for people with low incomes. States hire insurers to manage their Medicaid programs. 3 Indiana school districts are asking voters to approve or renew a local property tax referendum on the November ballot to increase or maintain funding for teacher pay and student academics. Enrollment decline over the last decade has made it difficult for the districts to maintain competitive compensation and pay for other classroom expenses. Kokomo School Corporation and Twin Lakes Community Schools in Monticello are seeking their first ballot initiatives. But Lake Station Community Schools near Gary is asking voters for the second time in a year to renew the tax rate approved in 2017. Voters rejected that extension in November of 2023. Schools are funded by the state through a per-student formula to pay for teachers, staff, and academic programs. If enrollment drops, the total amount of funding a district receives proportionately decreases, reducing the overall budget available for teacher and staff salaries, academic programs, and operations. A voter-approved increase to local property taxes is one of the only ways a district can increase general funds and ensure its stability for 8 years. The election is November 5th and early voting is underway. From small-town New England to the heart of the Midwest, Indiana Chamber of Commerce CEO Vanessa Cinders is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Mark Mazurik for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.